Some admirers haven't let go of Jennifer Lopez and Marc Anthony's passionate love affair, though. Many others are still quietly hoping that they would reconcile because their love was so intense. That most likely won't ever occur. This is the reason why everything started in 1998, when Marc Anthony was appearing on Broadway in the show The Capeman. Marc was interested in Jennifer Lopez because she had recently divorced her first husband, Johnny Noah. The first thing he said to her, according to Jenny from the Block, was, "One day you're going to be my wife." Whoa! Although they dated for a short while around this time, their romance never developed into something substantial. But it was obvious that they clicked quite well. On the song Know Me Amos from J. Lo's debut album on the 6, the singers worked together for the first time. Oh, what a lovely ballad that is. Lopez and Anthony even shared a screen in the music video for the song, which peaked at #1 on Billboard's Hot Latin Songs chart. We got to witness their evident chemistry for the first time then. Fans yearned for the singers to get together, but they had not yet started a romantic relationship. Dayanara Torres, a former Miss Universe, and Marc were married in May 2000. During their marriage, they had 2 kids, Ryan and Christian. After a breakup and a subsequent 2-year reconciliation, the couple were divorced in 2004. While they were filming the movie Glee, Lopez and Affleck started dating. "We were kind of the hot couple at the time, and we just so happened to be together when the tabloids first started, so we might have contributed to that at first because it was amusing and then it stopped being amusing. Then, it seemed to be destroying us." The actress was at the time wed to her second husband, Chris Judd, but shortly after Lopez and Affleck began dating and made their relationship known to the world, she filed for divorce. Later, they became engaged, and the entire community eagerly awaited their wedding until just hours before they exchanged vows. After the heartache of their failed romances, they decided to call off the ceremony. Lopez and Anthony managed to track each other down again. When they first started dating, they kept their union a secret. Jennifer wrote the finest words of devotion about her connection with Marc in her book True Love. "My recent split couldn't have caused me so much anguish and pain for nothing, could it? Perhaps I had to experience the awful in order to meet the person I was always intended to be with," she wrote. Jennifer and Marc tried their love again the same year. The wedding took place on June 5, 2004. The couple exchanged vows in a private ceremony. Although neither of the couple had made an official announcement of their engagement, the bands on their left ring fingers, which were only 6 months old, said it all. Later, J.Lo discussed the marriage with People magazine and said, "I think that's where Marc proved to me that he was more of a man than anything I had experienced. When you find that person who doesn't run when things get hard." As Lopez and Anthony demonstrated to the world that they were an extremely gorgeous couple in addition to working well together, fans of the couple were ecstatic about their marriage. The couple swiftly rose to the status of Latin American royalty and were compared to the Brangelina of 2000 on Couple Goals. In addition to performing together at the 2005 Grammy Awards, Jennifer and Marc also featured as a married couple in the 2006 movie El Cantante. The duo started the Jennifer Lopez and Marc Anthony and Concierto tour soon after the movie's release. One evening, Marc dedicated his performance of the Journey song Faithfully to Lopez, noting it was a very personal song. "This song now has a completely new meaning. How lovely." Later, the actress talked about how Marc gave her more self-assurance throughout their marriage. The lovely claimed that her husband would compliment her on her singing abilities. "Never ever accept the criticism that your singing isn't very good." Because of their strong mutual support, their careers soared at the last stop of the joint tour. Finally confirming what the public had thought were Lopez and Anthony. Lopez had been glowing and pregnant for the past few weeks. She announced, "Marc and I will give birth to a child on February 22, 2008. The couple and their followers were overjoyed when their twins, who are named Me and Max, were born. They just helped me to realize what was actual, what was not actual, and what was actual. They recently made all the changes. I apologize. I'm not trying to." Anthony and Lopez had never had it so good. They only welcomed their infant children while their professional partnerships had a strong hold on followers. Together, they made a significant contribution to the humanitarian causes in Puerto Rico. Additionally, as we already noted, they made a very gorgeous couple. Their way of living seemed ideal. Behind the scenes, though, not everything was happy. Jennifer and Marc announced their separation after 7 years of marriage. They decided it would be best to part ways for the sake of their children after months of incessant bickering, a source claimed. When one of the most romantic couples announced their separation, the news saddened those who still had faith in love. Long after, Lopez wrote about the moment she realized her marriage had to end in her memoir, True Love. She was sitting when she had a panic attack while wearing cosmetics and hair. She wrote in a panic and fear-filled blur, "It was one of those moments when you're so scared you can't even scream. I screamed out, I don't think I can be with Marc anymore, after turning to face my boss and mother." Then she started crying. Despite experiencing a really dark time in her life, J.Lo didn't allow the setback slow down the advancement of her business. "I must attend to your needs. You must cherish who you are. I must state that this is advantageous to me. I should not be doing this. Anything that doesn't feel good to your soul, you cannot accept." The actress, who continued to make waves in pop culture while concentrating on her career, was said to have been distraught by the breakup at the time, according to a source who spoke at the time. The singer would subsequently admit that her past romantic relationships led her to seek treatment. "I'm not sure. I merely sort of had. I changed the way I was thinking about life. Because I wanted their lives to be wonderful as well, I began to question more of myself, of love, of what was right and what was wrong." Although she didn't specifically mention Marc, Jennifer did mention that the therapy sessions took place when she was in her late 30s. She was still married to the singer at the time. There was a lot of discussion about loving herself and being the strong woman she is during the therapy sessions. J.Lo was certain that she adored herself. "I obviously wasn't loving myself because of all the things I was doing in my personal relationships, but I didn't really grasp the idea of it," the actress continued, adding it took some time, and I'm still on that road. Anthony filed for divorce in 2012, and it was granted 2 years later. Lopez and Anthony's relationship ended in heartbreak, but they continued to be involved in each other's lives. Naturally, it is unhappy after that. "I suppose Marc and I both believed at the time that we would be together for the next 40 years, or until we passed away, so it was upsetting and awful to think that we would not be able to make this work. The biggest disappointment of my life thus far definitely came when I began to realize that wasn't going to be the case. Mom would have primary custody of the twins as part of their decision to co-parent. Through dissolving a marriage. I see, then. The potential for amazing friendship and electric chemistry among co-workers exists. Do you believe Jennifer and Marc should try again with love? Tell us in the comments section below. Be well and show kindness.